Hey guys, what's up? It's me, MC Matador here, and today I'm going to celebrate Valentine's Day, which more or less of a coincidence that I'm recording on this day, with the finale of the top 25 amusement parks I have ever visited. Um, it probably is more of a sheer coincidence that this is the video I decided to upload on Valentine's Day, and also I don't have a significant other, and I probably never will because I'm awkward as hell. So I it's Happy Singles Day, everyone. Let's move. Let's get a moving before I start killing myself even faster. Moving on, we have number five, Silver Dollar City in Branson, Missouri. Now, this is the first park I visited in the summer of 2019. This past summer, it's currently the winter of 2020. When this was uploaded, and Silver Dollar City was an absolutely fantastic way to kick off my summer. It's a beautiful, immersive, and unique park with a good collection of flats, coasters, theming, and it's very well known for its live entertainment. Every coaster here is good. All five of them, except for the kiddie coaster. I didn't ride that. But Time Traveler, Outlaw Run, Wildfire, presume Powder Keg, and Thunderation are all really good. And Outlaw Run and Time Traveler make up a fantastic 1-2 punch. And none of their coasters, these five, in their lineup, fall into my bottom third. Not bottom three, bottom 33%. So, like, every single coaster is in probably my top 60% in their lineup, which a lot of parks, this is one of the very few parks, if not the only one that can claim such an honor. Even my home park and even some of the parks higher up have rides that are in my bottom third, and this one doesn't. The lineup is really strong, but it's short. It's a short but stout lineup, and they have a fantastic entertainment and natural scenery selection. It's very hilly, very terrainy, very tree ridden. There's a lot of trees, and it's pretty beautiful at times. Their shows and entertainment are in the upper echelon of theme park entertainment, and I personally I didn't really sit down for any of the shows because my visit here was cut unfortunately short. My only regrets of this park when I visited it come from personal anecdote because I went here on a steaming hot, like 90, 95 degrees and humid day in late June. It was a Saturday, and I was outnumbered by three of my relatives and my grandfather, who are not necessarily coaster enthusiasts. They like well, everyone but my grandfather likes roller coasters, but they're not enthusiasts. They're just they're general public. They kind of fall into the slightly more educated section of general public. And I was forced to leave way too soon. Like, the park opened at 9 a.m. I was forced to leave by 2 p.m. because they didn't want to reride anything. They didn't want to be in the heat anymore. They didn't want to go do anything else, see any of the shows, go get some food, whatever it ended up being. So I really wish I can go back there and stay like a whole day in the summer, and preferably on like a weekday as well, so that I can try and minimize my line queues for Outlaw Run, Powder Keg. Outlaw Run was like a walk on because I got there pretty early. Time Traveler especially, that was an hour and a half, 2 hours. Also, I'd love to be able to attend their Christmas event, as well as the next park, because I've heard it's a pretty freaking good. I also want to say I did miss the Powder Keg credit, but it's still there, so that's why I kind of included it in the five coaster count. It saddens me. I was looking forward to riding it. I heard it was a pretty underrated, unique, and historic flat roller coaster that used to be Buzzsaw Falls, like a S&S Aqua coaster or something like that. It was interesting, and I would love to have ridden that piece of history, as well as the only air launch coaster in the United States at the time. I was able to get to Silver Dollar City about a week before Max Force opened, so I wish I could have ridden the only air launch coaster in the United States at the time, but now Max Force is my first one. It blew up about 15 minutes before I could ride it as well, which made it really stingy. But at least in exchange, I got like five. I got three rides on an Outlaw Run, that was I got three. If I hadn't really ridden Outlaw Run as many times as I did, I could have gotten on the ride. But Outlaw Run is a fantastic coaster. Number four is Dollywood in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. The last of the parks that I visited for the 2019 season. For 2019, I visited this, Silver Dollar City, my home park, obviously, but that doesn't count as new. Holiday World, uh, Kentucky Kingdom, as well as the entirety of Disney World Resort. So this is the best park that I visited out of the ones that I visited in 2000 in the summer of 2019, and it's owned by the same company as Silver City, Hershey Entertainment. It's a beautiful, immersive woodland theme park that takes everything good about at Silver City, adds more land, more themed areas, more coasters, and I was able to stay for a longer time. I was able to stay for essentially a day combined. I went to Dollywood in late July for on a Monday and a Tuesday. It was intermittently destroyed by rain, but not for like the whole day. And the second day I left after like half day. I basically spent a day and a half at this park. And I was able to do everything multiple times for the most part. I was able to uh, I was able to just spend a lot of time just taking in the ambiance and the scenery and the terrain, being able to try some of the food. It's just much like Silver City. This park is very well known for its ambiance, environment, and entertainment, and is a renowned park. This is often some people's favorite parks that they've ever been to, and I can really get behind the reason why. Unfortunately, their coaster lineup does actually worse than Silver City's. Lightning Rod, Wild Eagle, and Thunderhead are like good rides. Well, Lightning Rod's in my top 5. And then you get to Thunderhead, which is like in my top 30. Then Wild Eagle barely cracks my top 50. And then you kind of just start tumbling further down the ladder when you get to some clunkers like Tennessee Tornado and Mystery Mine. And then they have some family coasters and Dragon Flyer and Fire Chaser Express, which Silver City could use like another family coaster other than Thunderation. I do really want to shout out a couple things for Dollywood in particular that I really enjoyed. The first thing I want to shout out, probably the most, I will never shut up about this, is the cinnamon bread at the Grist Mill. It's located just past the train tracks towards the right side of the park in the middle, so like between the midway between Tennessee Tornado and Blazing Fury to Lightning Rod or the Lightning Rod area. It's located near a fountain off to the left, and it's kind of easy to miss it if you don't know how to look, but if you're looking for it, it should be easy to find. And oh my god, the cinnamon bread is absolutely delicious. It is quite possibly the best thing I've ever put in my mouth. It is, I could eat it every freaking day if I want to. I spent an unhealthy amount of money and time at the mill, and I have absolutely no regrets doing so. Another shout out goes to their new for 2019 Wildwood Grove area. Now, if you're watching this in like maybe another year or two after this video is uploaded, they may have expanded it with something even better. But in its current state, when I went for the first debut year in 2019, it was amazing. Super immersive, super relaxing, super ambiential, great views, great scenery, and just enough passive activities to do. It was probably my favorite area of any theme park to sit around in and just do nothing. I could just sit around on like a log or a rock or a bench and just do nothing. Listen to the music, take in the weather, admire the breeze, and look over at Thunderhead and get some good views of the ride running. Especially in a nice summer rain, it's pretty nice being there. And it's really good for resting your bones because it's located in the back left corner of the park, and it's very terrainy. You have to climb up a hill to get to Wildwood Grove. Whether you come from the right and make your way past Mystery Mine to get there, or come from the left and make your way past Thunderhead to get there. You're climbing up a hill anyhow, and you're gonna need to get some. Well, maybe not gonna to, but it's a good area to take a rest. But pardon me. And Dragon Flyer is a fun family coaster. It's probably, I think I will reference maybe my top 7, my countdown of Dollywood's coasters, which I think Dragon Flyer came in 5th? Yeah, I think it came in 5th, maybe 4th. Moving on, we have number 3, Hershey Park in Hershey, Pennsylvania. This is a top-tier American theme park. I have not heard nearly enough buzz about this massive chocolate themed paradise with an additional no charge zoo attached to it. The amenities, whether they be ride, slide, ambiential, or others, are all excellent. They don't really have a bad ride in their lineup. Yeah, I'm going to cut Wildcat some slack for this one. I have not been here since June of 2015, so I haven't done a lot of the things. But from my memory, spending 2 days at this park back in that said June 2015, I remember just loving everything about it. Their top five coasters as of 2020, I call the Hershey Elite 5, and it's a fantastic just gauntlet of rides. Skyrush, Fahrenheit, Stormrunner, Candemonium, and Lightning Racer are all elite rides in the region. Though I've been hearing a bit more negative things about Lightning Racer, so I gotta try that again when I get back. And the crowds, from my experience, were not really that bad. I did go on, I think it was like a Monday, Tuesday, or was it a Tuesday, Wednesday? In the summer, so I haven't seen the weekend crowds. It's 12 hours away from my house, Hershey, Pennsylvania. So 12 hours away from Chicago, so it's not easy. And also the nearby Hershey store / Hershey Chocolate Town experience is an added treat, pun intended. Being able to shop basically fresh off the irons Hershey products, whether it be standard sized, oversized, or whatnot. I remember those being some of the best Hershey Kisses I've ever had right in the town of Hershey because they don't have to worry about commute all that much. And they have a free dark ride showing you how, well, kind of a propaganda sort of thing about how Hershey chocolates are made. Or at least particularly the Hershey's milk chocolate, which is a pretty fun thing, and it was absolutely free. They got just a bunch of little touristy things to do over there, and if you want to spend some money on some really good chocolate, whether you get a standard size like you find in the supermarket, or you get a oversized bar that they sell, like a 1 pound bar that you can buy there. Like, do you want a 1 pound Reese's peanut butter cup? You can go ahead and get that there, because holy crap. I don't really like oversized candy. I'd rather get oversized other things because I can only take candy in small sittings, but that's more personal. It has been simply far too long since I have been to Hershey Park, and I really want to come back here eventually. And I did also get a comment in a previous video saying that I should visit Hershey Park when I visit Great Adventure, which is basically confirmed at this point because we already made the hotel reservations. Great Adventure in early June of this year. I don't think my family can afford that. Because, I mean, I have to do some serious convincing, but I don't think my family can afford to spend an extra day at Hershey Park. I would love to go, don't get me wrong, but I really don't think we can afford it. We're already taking so much time off work, as my parents are already taking so much time off work, and spending probably over $1,000 on hotels, sweet hotels, because there could be up to 6 of us coming. And doing Great Adventure is already plenty enough for me to call it a good year, being able to ride King Ka, El Toro, Nitro, and other coasters, and potentially Jersey Devil, but I doubt it. Moving on, we have number 2, Kings Island, located in Mason, Ohio. A fantastic park in a fantastic city with fantastic rides all over the place. I would be extremely happy to live in the Cincinnati area and call this park home one day. Their coaster lineup is impeccable. Diamondback, Mystic Timbers, Beast, Banshee, and soon-to-be Orion make up a renowned core of industry gems. Like, Diamondback is the best B&M Hyper, Mystic Timbers is quite possibly the best GCI, Banshee's in the running for best B&M Invert, Beast is one of the classic wooden coasters, and Orion is a giga coaster, so you can't go wrong there. And they have a really good supporting cast. Racer, a classic racing wooden coaster. Backlot stunt coaster, an underrated fun launch coaster. Flight of Fear, an indoor launch spaghetti bowl. Bat, an underrated suspended coaster. And Vertigo, a rather fun inverted boomerang. They're all good in their own regards. And the park is rapidly and aggressively expanding. They have taken out 2 coasters in the past 2 years. Firehawk, rest in peace, and Vortex, you can go screw yourself because people pretended to like you. And they're actively investing to replace them with better coasters. Like, Firehawk is already being replaced with Orion, which is a significant upgrade, as much as I liked Firehawk. The park is up and coming so fast and has so much room to work with. Since it's located in a wooded area, they can just cut down trees and expand further into the back of the park by Beast and by Windseeker. It can easily be one of the best theme parks, if not the best theme park in the world, if at least America, within the decade. Because it's kind of funny how the best amusement park in America is located just a few hours north in Sandusky, known as Cedar Point. I know, it sounds cliche because Cedar Point is a lot of people's favorite parks. It's almost just the general, like, basic bitch enthusiast thing to like Cedar Point. But I'm gonna be real genuine here. I absolutely adore this park. I would come here every summer if I had a good enough reason to. It takes a lot of time and money to invest in just plopping 5 hours one way to go over to Cedar Point with family and be able to just ride an elite collection of coasters. Their top 10 is quite possibly the best top 10 in the world. I mean, screw Disney. This is the happiest place on earth. 15 roller coasters, aggressive expansion, beachside resorts, and 4 coasters in my top 15, 3 of which are in my top 5. Steel Vengeance, quite possibly the best coaster in the world. Maverick, the crown jewel of Intamin. Millennium Force, the world's first Giga, and Top Thrill Dragster, the best strata coaster in the world, as well as one of the most adrenaline-packed rides that money can buy, are pristine thrill machines. Raptor, Valravin, Gatekeeper, Magnum, Wicked Twister, and Rougarou wrap up an envious top 10. And I'm pretty sure easily, Raptor, Valravin, Rougarou, Gatekeeper, they're all in my top. I'm pretty sure all of those are in my top half. Maybe not Magnum or maybe not Magnum, but I know some people like Magnum more than I do, so I include it in the top 10. Blue Streak, Iron Dragon, and Gemini are some really good family-friendly rides to boot. Blue Streak is underrated. Iron Dragon is just a nice, gentle ride that is really popular with the locals. Gemini, another underrated classic aero ride. Corkscrew and Cedar Creek Mine Ride. Corkscrew's obsolete. Cedar Creek Mine Ride sitting on precious land for another major coaster in Frontier Town. And I want to kind of just wrap this up with a Midwestern allegory, because I live near Chicago, and pretty much any local who knows of or has met or is a thrill seeker has heard of Cedar Point. Several of my friends, families, neighbors, passerbys, locals all know of or have personally been to Cedar Point. Even though we live 5-6 hours away from the small town of Sandusky, it is a top shelf Midwestern vacation destination that everyone in the vicinity has visited at least once. People probably come from even further away. One of my favorite games is to go to the Cedar Point parking lot and look for license plates. Not for the numbers, but for the state in which they came. And the amount of diversity you can find in the license plates. People are coming from the Pacific. People are coming from the Southeast. People are coming from the Southwest. They're coming from everywhere. I've seen cars from Alaska in the parking lot. Insert disaster transport joke there as well. But everyone, in America, and even the world, Europeans will spend thousands to come over to the small town of Sandusky and do Cedar Point. I'm not sure about the Asian population doing something like that, but Europeans especially they would love to come out to Cedar Point. This is the pristine seasonal amusement park in America, and pulls in 3.5 to 4 million guests in half a calendar year. It operates from early May to early November, and that's 6 months. It is closed for 6 months of the year. If it were a year-round park, it would easily pull in 6, 7, maybe even 8 million guests a year. It is absurd. This place is world-renowned for thrills and will continue to be for a long time coming. I want to also my family does a little bit of pet sitting, if you haven't watched some of my older videos, because we pet sit for friends for extra money, and we've pet sit people. The owners are going to spend a weekend in Sandusky, go to Cedar Point, and they leave their dogs with us. People have trusted us with their dogs in a business while they go to Cedar Point and enjoy just world-class thrills. I know that Cedar Point has definite flaws. It's not cheap. It's like it's often very crowded. Waiting in the standard queue for things like Steel Vengeance or Millennium Force at times is an absolute joke. Um, or Maverick as well. A lot of their better rides are very popular, and it's gonna get worse now that with the 150th anniversary Gold Pass being just barely more expensive than an upscale Six Flags Park season pass. It's gonna be interesting, and I have a trip possibly planned to Cedar Point in July, as well as Kings Island. So I'll come back with more feedback and maybe a synopsis video of these parks. So, as always, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to like, comment, or subscription. If you didn't, well, do the same as well. I hope you guys have a great insert unit of time here. Wish me luck. I just had my first calculus exam today. And as always, I wish you guys peace.